Hey yo, we King Fight News, back at it. Shout out to all the subscribers, and you know what it is. There may be trouble in paradise when it comes to this Anthony Joshua, Eddie Hearn situation. According to World Boxing News, shout out to them, Phil J. You know what it is. Anthony Joshua is not happy with how these Wilder negotiations turned out. You see how you guys assume Eddie Hearn's word, and then Anthony Joshua remains silent. Why is he silent? Why does he have a gag order? Well, we're about to get into this. King Fight News, and we're going all the way in. You know what it is. Okay. So, from what we were led to believe, according to Shelley, there were 2 minor issues in the contract. He never disclosed what those issues were, yeah? One thing we do know, there wasn't a clear date for the fight, and there was no venue. But there's also something else that wasn't really mentioned in all of this. And there's you see how Eddie Hearn, he hides this shit. He hides you know when Joshua was saying the devil's in the details? I think that applies to Eddie Hearn more than anybody else, because according to this story out of World Boxing News, Eddie Hearn was trying to stage this Wilder Joshua mega showdown. Guess which network? That's right. According to this article, Eddie Hearn wanted to stage that fight not on Showtime, but on DAZN. On DAZN. Is that true? Well, you gotta ask Eddie Hearn, because he seemed to be very open to that idea, and I'm sure those DAZN backers were very interested. As he has said, Eddie Hearn had said DAZN would be very interested in being able to showcase the Wilder Joshua showdown if it were to come to fruition. And we all know that Anthony Joshua himself said out of his own mouth that he was not interested in fighting Povetkin. Right? He said that out of his own mouth, I think last month or 5 or 6 weeks ago. He said this, and I have a video up stating that Anthony Joshua not interested in Povetkin. Look for that headline. So, things are heating up in the world of Anthony Joshua, and it looks like there may be some turmoil when it comes to Matchroom. I mean, they've offered him this £100 million contract. There has been no confirmation that he's taking that deal. In fact, I believe his deal has already expired with Matchroom, and this Alexander Povetkin fight is not official yet. Despite what the WBA wants you to believe, despite this 24-hour deadline, facts are facts, and this Alexander Povetkin fight is not official. Not official, guys. So, there's a lot not being said in the media. There's a lot of things not being reported in the media. But what we need to know is the simple fact that there may be trouble in paradise when it comes to Anthony Joshua, Matchroom Sport. And I mean, the writing's on the wall, guys. According to Deontay Wilder, he's having private conversations with Anthony Joshua. Maybe he's putting him up on game. Maybe Anthony Joshua's realizing that he doesn't need Eddie Hearn. He doesn't need a promoter. And my advice, if I had one thing to say, if I had 30 seconds to a minute to say one clear message to Anthony Joshua, I would tell him this. You have your own promotional company backing, right? You have some of your own fighters. You have Lawrence Okolie, I believe, signed under your banner, AJ Boxing. What do you need Eddie Hearn for when you can go over to the US, snatch $50 million minimum guaranteed against Deontay Wilder? Why would you sign a potentially another 2 to 3 years of your career and make less when you can make more on your own? Not only that, But what's to stop Anthony Joshua from signing with Al Heyman? And not only that, not only all of this, but Anthony Joshua himself should know by now Eddie Hearn may be skimming off some of his money, guys. Along with that, I'm sure Eddie Hearn has told him time and time again to potentially bend the truth when it comes to the whole Deontay Wilder situation. What was being told to him was clearly not facts, because that's what led him to say, oh, Wilder, if you think it's a $100 million fight, here's what you do. Give me $50 million, and we can split the rest 50-50, and I'll sign it tomorrow. That's what he said, right? That's what he said, right? Who led him to believe that? It was Eddie Hearn. That's who led him to believe that. So I mean, I'm just giving you the facts, guys. Let's head to the article and see what it had to say. All right, shocker. Anthony Joshua unhappy with Deontay Wilder collapse. Alexander Povetkin fight not official despite WBA 24-hour deadline. Right? The venue is in question. And the fight is not final. That's what we do know. Let's look at this coming out of World Boxing News. They have sources that have led them to believe that Joshua was unhappy at the Wilder talks ending when WBA President Gilberto Mendoza told the promoter Eddie Hearn to push through the mandatory fight with Povetkin, something Anthony Joshua said he was not interested in. The WBA requested for an answer from Anthony Joshua's team regarding his fight with the mandatory Alexander Povetkin. Team Wilder had not returned the contract for the fight, and therefore we are requesting a date for the Joshua versus Povetkin fight with immediate effect. Now this came 24 hours after Wilder's team had communicated to Eddie Hearn that they would be getting a signed contract by Friday. And this happened on what, Thursday? So, I mean, you tell me. That ain't a coincidence, and a lot of British fans have an easy time of ignoring that, oddly enough. Now, according to this right here, Eddie Hearn wanted the fight shown live on DAZN in the United States after signing a lucrative deal, whilst Wilder's team believed that Showtime was the way to go, as at least a 2-fight deal was expected. Okay, y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? So there was another issue that was not spoken about, and guess what? It was the networks. And we all saw there was a back and forth between Steven Espinoza speaking out against Eddie Hearn's exaggerations, against his lies that he was spreading on Twitter. So, I mean, for Eddie Hearn to do this, it's kind of a duck in and of itself. Why would you put this mega fight that should be on US pay-per-view on DAZN? Why would you do that? I mean, it begs the question if Eddie Hearn really wanted to make this fight. I mean, it really does. To put Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder on the subscription app that's not even released. I mean, that would be a great way to like, say if you did that for the rematch, that would be a great way to bring in viewers. But you know what? For Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua to not get any back-end US pay-per-view money, which is where Deontay Wilder could also get an extra revenue stream apart from that flat fee, right? He wanted a percentage. Why would he get a percentage of something that's not going to come to him? You know? Originally, Deontay Wilder had clearly asked for 40% and then had caved in to this $15 million offer, considering that he was likely not going to get this fight until 2019. And he didn't want that. That's why he accepted, because he was expecting to fight Joshua next if he took that offer. You see how that works, guys? Anyways, could there be trouble in paradise? Has Anthony Joshua re-signed with Eddie Hearn? So many questions. but there's not any answers. E-King Fight News, let me know what you guys think, man. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And you know what it is, we're out.